I'm Andrew from Top Golf Chigwell here, except I'm not a Top Golf Chigwell. I'm at my house doing a quick question and answer session for you. I have 4 main questions to get through, and there's some drills for everyone to improve their game. So number 1, I have been asked by Shamir, one of my lessons, Shamid on Instagram, so give him a follow. It is about the Callaway Epic driver. So very kindly, I'm now a Team Callaway staff member, which is awesome. And I upgraded from a tailor-made R11S custom fit with a really fancy shafting for me at the time. But I must admit I don't play too much anymore, although I used to play professionally in events all the time. So I was custom fit for that a few years ago. Got custom fit for this. I did this with a flight scope unit and tried all the shafts out, and I must admit my first impression is I love the Epic woods. I love the Epic driver. It's become a favourite. I tend to favour driver anyway, to be honest with you. It's just something I've always enjoyed and I trust in my game. My swing tends to suit driver. So what I've found in the first 3 rounds and lots of practice sessions is that Epic driver for me has added around about 15 yards on my best drives and sort of just under that on my average drives. And I've tested that over a couple of weeks and months using the flight scope unit. So it's not just off one session, it's something I've done regularly to make sure it's just not a one-off. And I did custom fit myself over a period of time rather than just in one session. I tried it out a couple of times with a couple of different shafts. I ended up going for just the Epic. For those of you there that not the Sub-Zero, again, don't play quite enough and felt like I got a bit more forgiveness across the face. And depending on how well this comes out, you can just tell that I've been tending to strike it fairly near the middle, which is quite good, and towards the top. So I found that that's helped. I've actually moved my strike from there. With my old R11, I used to catch it a little bit lower in the face, which has a bad effect on the spin of the ball and therefore the distance. So loving it, really am. Not just saying that, that is something I've really enjoyed. I'm loving the irons as well. The whole set's great. Putter, I haven't quite got used to. I love the look of, but we'll do a review of that if anyone wants in the future. So there's that first one. Second one, Ben Woodall Golf on new golfers playing the lob shot. So trying to get this ball to go over something, I want you to use your wedge with the most loft. This is my old one, as I say, I'm at home, wouldn't use that in a comp. Simple little tactics for this. So I'm going to just step back and get this golf ball so you can see the ball is going to be played in the middle of my feet. It's not back, it's not too far forward. Key points for me are that if my arm forms the ground, I want the club to skim into the ground and brush with the most amount of loft possible. So if we look at the handle, how's the handle moving? The handle is actually moving back as I come through the ball, and the face is now pointing to the sky. I haven't opened the face or anything like that. I've just let the loft of the club do the work for me. So to do this, simply want you to take your grip, make sure the club's pointing straight up to you when you take your set up. All right, if I step back, you can see that. And I just want you to get the feeling from here of gripping it very light, just letting the wrists, and you can hear me brushing the ground, just reset this side. So you can see through the ball, I'm just getting very soft with my hands, and that brushing the ground and soft wrists lets the club head swing, and therefore I deliver lots and lots of loft. Things I see players go really wrong with is opening the face, taking these huge swings, chopping down on it lots. Guys, not needed. Skim the ground, use the loft, just soften your grip so you deliver a bit more. It's really, really simple. So there's Ben Woodall, hope that helps. Let me know. He's Ben Woodall Golf on Instagram. So Chris Makepeace on Instagram has asked me about how our hips move. So he's got a slice. So what I say to slicers is slightly different to players that draw the ball. When we slice, I want you to get the feeling that your lead hip is going to start to go forward, and that's going to drop the golf club more on the way down. So when we look at that from here, I'll take my posture, I will go more forwards, club falls behind me, and that's going to help me get a more inside hit. Quite simply, what I get people to do is put a golf bag here, get their golf bag and try and bump the golf bag off the ground slightly, and they will get the feeling of that pretty quickly. If you're a drawer or a hooker of the golf ball, we're going to do completely the opposite. Simple little bit of instruction. So from here, if you hook it, what I want you to do is I want you to feel like your left hip turns. And when we turn our left hip, it's actually going to look like it goes back a little bit. So when we do that from this angle, instead of this club falling down this way and getting more inside, when I turn, it now comes a little bit more in front of me, comes a bit more outside my hands, and it's going to deliver a little bit more of a fade or a pull kind of swing. So make sure you use the one that's good for you, all right? The golf bag for the hookers and the drawers is going to be that actually you shouldn't hit the bag on your way down unless you're hitting it just slightly with the golf club. Not one that you do to hit balls, but just to get the feeling. So, hope that helps with your hips. Let me know how it goes as ever. Last one for me is all about slicers. So slicers, I've had a few, JJ and Toby have asked me about slicing. First one, and for me, the only reason that you slice a golf ball, guys and girls, is because this face is twisted to the right. Instead of it looking like this, it's going to twist some amount to the right of target. So, going to do some practice swings where you take your swing, and you're going to have a look at the club face here. You're going to make it point down to the ground, so you can see this edge. It's not 12 o'clock, it's leaning over, down to the ground. Then when it gets to the top, it's going to point more to the sky, and then down to the ground again. So you're going to go down to the ground, up to the sky, down to the ground, up to the sky, down to the ground, and then you can hit one if you're on your driving range. And what that's going to do is it's going to close or make the face point more left if you're right-handed and stop that big slice. So you've got your slicer drill, you've got your hooker drill for your hips, you've got your slicer drill for your hips, you've got a lob drill, so there's loads there in a very short space of time to help you with your game. What I want you to do is make sure you let me know if this helps. Follow me on Instagram, it's my main social media at the moment. Send me your questions and I'll address it in next week's video. Also, send me your swings, tag Agnoli Golf hashtag in Instagram on your swings, because I'm going to do a swing analysis for one of you every Wednesday. I've got a few entries already, and if you want to win, let me know. Hope this helps and have a great weekend. See you guys.